trying to decide what my first video in a while would be, and I thought, why not something that thoroughly annoys me, since whenever I'm fucking annoyed, it seems to entertain everybody else. Don't ask about the beard and everything. First of all, let me get off with, I got the worst fucking haircut of my life. I think the girl might have been legally blind. I'm not positive. This is why I don't have all the hair that I have anymore. All right, here's what happened. I was out of town on work, kind of, sort of. You know, I might have killed a few people. Don't question me. You don't want to know about it. And I go to a popular chain to get a haircut, right? Stevie is with me at this point because he's also doing the same thing I'm doing. And he's like, I don't think you should go here. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I thought he was just trying to cheap out like he always does. He's like, I just don't think you should go here. I just have a bad feeling. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking queer. Just sit the fuck down and, you know, look at the guy's crotches in the waiting room. He's like, okay, sounds good. I go in there, and the girl, the first sign should have been, she's talking to another lady, not even looking at me, every 5 seconds. Right. So Cheryl did what? I know Christmas is in like 6 days. It's so fucked up. I know. She's talking like that too. She's kind of ghetto. She's like white ghetto. And she's like, yeah, I know. My boyfriend got shot the other day. I thought I should help him, but, you know, he beat me a couple times. Now I don't think I should anymore because, you know, he did give me a concussion, but, you know, I kind of love him because he's good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and then she starts making small talk with me, actually, which I don't like making small talk with anybody. So, you know, it's going to be the other person doing it first. And she goes like this. She's like, so where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Chicago. Oh, wow, Chicago. Wow. You would have thought I said I was from, I don't know, Egypt or something like that. Wow. What's it like? I've always wanted to go. You're in Wisconsin. You literally are about 2 hours or less away. You just, you know, I don't know, take an Uber. You can get there. I promise you, it's an achievable dream. All right. So then she's like, I'm like, well, we start talking about work experiences and stuff. And I'm like, what's the worst customer you ever had? She's like, oh, I've had so many. They always complain about me. I'm like, oh, fucking shit. I'm like thinking, okay, no. I mean, people can be dicks. She's like, oh, like this one. Oh, my God. She said, like one time I was doing her kid's hair and the guard came off. Like the guard just slipped. Like it's my fault. Technically, it's your fault. You're operating the clipper. It's your fault. I was like, oh, yeah, that sucks. She's like, yeah. And so she wanted me to get, she even called like another time. She wanted me to get my license taken away. I'm like, oh, God, whatever. Right away, I should have been like, you know what, honey? I got to go. Looks decent enough. I'm not happy with it thoroughly, but I could salvage. Let me just go. Didn't. I sit there, and she starts, you know, doing more and more. And from the front, it looked fine. I swear to you, it looked fine. I wanted it shorter, not this short. And I'm like, all right, it was like a little more like here. I'm like, all right. I get out with Steve, and Steve just kept looking at me, side-eyeing me, like, I'm like, what? He's like, it'll grow back. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, listen, I know you. It'll grow back. Don't worry about it, okay? Do you want to talk about it? Want a cup of tea? Cry about it on my shoulder? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, well, if you're happy with this, I said, what are you talking about? He's like, have you seen the sides? I'm like, well, yeah, I took a quick look. I took a very quick look, obviously. I pulled the mirror down in the car. I look. It looks like she gave me, in the back I didn't see, he saw that somebody made a mask. It looks like she made a toupee on my head. It looked like I was wearing, like I was completely bald, like without even this, and I'm wearing a fucking rug that like cuts off here and is all shaved around here. I look like the biggest fucking slow-mo on the fucking planet. I should have been wearing like a sweater with cat pee on it and broken glasses with tape on it and saying, you know, do you want to pet my pudding? My pudding, I ate it. Mama gave it to me for dessert. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I looked really, really retarded, if you know what I can say. So, yeah, I was pissed. I had to go the next day. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I look fucking slow. I mean, even the waitress, we went to a restaurant that night. The waitress came up. She did one of these numbers. Hi, how can I help you, gentlemen? Our specials tonight are, you know, our specials, you know, not like special, our important things on the menu are filet mignon, fish that is, you know, talking to me like I fucking look, you know what I'm saying? So finally, I search Google. I'm like, I know, place with the best ratings, wherever. I find a barber shop, like an actual barber shop. I was a little nervous because there's women in there. Nothing sexist, but there's not a lot of women barbers who actually do like razor cuts and shit that I know of, okay? So I'm a little kind of like, look, I just had a woman mangle my head, so, you know, preferably I'd like somebody with a penis to just do it right. I get in there, they gave me the best, they shaved it all perfectly symmetrically. You know what? It's short, it'll grow back, but that's just how it started. So let me get to what really pissed me off. My neighbor. All right. First off, my neighbor, she's a bitch. Let's just cut right to the chase here. She's a fucking bitch. Why she's a bitch is she's one of those people who comes up to you and anybody who's really sing-songy and cheery, don't trust them. When I first moved in, the first thing she said, she came up to me like, humming, dead giveaway right there. Something's wrong with her. She, slits puppies' throats or something like that and drinks the blood every New Year's. Don't ask why, but she just does it. She's like this. She goes, "Oh, howdy, neighbor. Guess you're my neighbor. It's gonna be fun to be your neighbor. I'm like, right away. I'm like, she's fucking psycho. This lady's gonna be a problem. I don't know. And she's one of those who always is peering out her fucking window like this. I don't know what she does for a living. I don't know if she professionally just fingers herself constantly and nothing else. I don't even know if she has a husband. I have no clue. But she's always like doing this shit. And then whenever I look that way at the window when I'm coming in the door, closes. Like I didn't see that. Like, fooled me. I thought somebody was looking out of it. But God, it can't be because it's not doing that still. Anyway, first thing she pissed me off about was I worked a lot, and a lot of my free time was at night, very late at night. I would get home, and this is when I was by the, was it by the store still? No, it was by the other store. And I had to do laundry. So it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I'm doing laundry at 10, not at midnight, not at 1. I get a text from my landlord that somebody had complained that it was too loud and I needed to not do laundry after 10 p.m. Apparently, this bitch is friends with my landlord. I don't know, but she just made up this rule because when I moved in, they will tell you, like, you can do laundry at this time and not at this time. You can do it all night. You can't do it. It was never fucking mentioned that I could not do it between a specific time. She even said between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. is when laundry was. She never told me that until that bitch narked on me. And here's how I know that bitch narked on me. And first off, so the fuck what, lady? Do you know how many times I've had to listen to her ghetto fucking Mexican music? And I'm actually, look, I'm part Mexican, I fucking say it, all right? Her shit, literally. If I lived above her, and there was somebody beneath me, as much of a dick as I am, if I wanted to be respectful, I wouldn't get a super big bass system that goes boom, 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 and leave it on at all times of the day, all times. I work at night. What about my fucking respect? All right? A lot of the times I'm going to bed like really late. She's waking up at 7 a.m. in the morning doing the cha-cha. I got to hear fucking everything. And then she has her fucking ghetto kids come from out of town. I don't know. They're like in their 20s. They fly in and out, and they come and they, I don't know. I think they smoke weed and, I don't know, sort out drugs that they're selling like in another state somewhere and then just leave. It's a weird situation. But so I knew it was her because one time I was in the laundry room. I'm waiting to use the dryer. There's clothes in the dryer. I'm like, okay, somebody's gonna come get them. Hour later, look, somebody's gonna come get them. 2 hours later, look, somebody's gonna come get them. So I finally go to my landlord. Look, there's some clothes in the dryer. I need to use them. I don't know what's going on. I throw my garbage out, waiting for my landlord to respond back to me. She's like, look, I'll get on it. Don't worry about it. When I come out, it's like a coven of witches. There's my neighbor, some other old bitch who was really nosy. She was the one who would ask everybody and their mother questions coming to my building. She would ask Steve every time she saw him, do you live here? Do you live here? I should say, I told Steve each time, I said, you don't say if you live there or not. You tell her, no, I'm just breaking in, like always. Like sometimes I break in there, sometimes I break in. I'm just a rape. I shouldn't say that. YouTube will get me in trouble. I'm just a apist ray there. But yeah, so she and her and the husband who didn't speak any English of the other lady are just standing there staring at me. Like really hardcore. Like I fucking owe them money or something like that. I'm like, so finally I say something first because I'm carrying my garbage out. I'm like, oh, by the way, I said, is one of your guys' laundry in the dryer? And they look at each other with this confusion that, like, if I asked them to solve some mathematical equation, do you know what pi, the square root of it is? So I'm like, anybody? And she's like, the neighbor that tattled on me, and this is how I know. She goes, you mean it's not yours? No, I haven't started wearing blouses just yet. But when I do, I'll let you know. So right away she's like, I hope I didn't leave something in there and think it was oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, blah, blah, blah. So she goes down, brings the other neighbors, who by the way don't speak English. She speaks Spanish, so I can't understand a word they're fucking saying to each other. They're all talking about me, I'm convinced. Come down, we all come down together. She looks in the dryer, she's like, oh my God, it's mine. I'm so sorry. She's like, I was bitching to the landlord. I was bitching to the landlord. And then she drops the landlord's first name, like I don't know her first name, to let me know that, like, basically she's really good friends with her or eats her out every Tuesday or something like that. And I'm like, okay, can you just get out of there so I can put my shit in? She's like, yeah, I was bitching. You know why? Because this whole laundry room, right above it is my bedroom. And like, I can hear everything in this room. Nowhere else, not in your apartment, but everywhere else. So that means as if I didn't know. You're the bitch who told on me that I was doing laundry. I have never once gone to this hooker's door and you knocked on it and yelled about her making fucking obscene noise. She threw a party. Thank God I was gone. I would have definitely said something then. She left a note. She was kind enough to do that. I'll give her that. On December 18th, I'm going to be having a party. We are very festive people, meaning drunk, Spanish people are going to be like cascading through my building and see, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, yeah, oh yeah, ah! That's what I hear all night. And then she goes, we are very merry. We hope this doesn't bother you. And we might have carolers coming out singing songs in front of the building. No, you're fucking not. Who the fuck are you now? You don't own this building, bitch. That's what you do when you have your own fucking house, all right? Bad enough I have to deal with your fucking, fiesta de la Christmas or whatever the fuck you say. Bad enough I have to deal with it. Now I have to fucking deal with a bunch of fucking little, blonde-eyed Nordic village of the damn bastards with fucking creepy children singing Silent Night while I'm trying to go to sleep and beat my dick right before that? No! You can't do that. Luckily, I was not home. I was out of town, thank Christ, because it would have been an issue. So that brings us to the final part of the story, which is I wake up Christmas morning and I hear boom, 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 boom. What the fuck? I think it's like the boiler, so I'm like looking at my home. What the fuck is it? Boom, 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 boom. But it was like a softer boom. It wasn't like a boom box. I'm like, what the fuck is it? And then I've been to enough gyms and I've been on these things enough to where I could recognize the sound. Someone got her ass. Somebody who lives above somebody in an apartment building, a fucking treadmill. That's right. Luckily, she's about, see, the problem is not the treadmill. It's when you're 5,000 pounds using the treadmill. Because it's going to be like, one of those 4D movies where it's like, boom, boom, boom. My seat's shaking, my popcorn's spilling out. Who gave this bitch a fucking... First off, she's never going to use it. All right, I've seen her exercise, in the summertime. Here's her idea of exercise. Gossiping with the lady who doesn't speak any English, or they both speak Spanish, walking around the small park of my house and going back inside. No, bitch, get on a bike, run around the block, do something else. That just because it's inside, I shouldn't worry too much because she's never going to fucking use it. She's used like 3 days already, and it's always at 7 a.m. when the bitch wakes up. I am not usually awake at 7 a.m. You want to know why I'm awake at 7 a.m. today? Because Godzilla got on a fucking treadmill and decided that she's going to do 5 minutes before, she starts sweating out Haagen-Dazs and shit like that and realizing she can't do it anymore. And she's, well, I think I got rid of one of the 20 folds that I have in my gut. So yeah, it's starting off to be a good year. It's not even the new year yet, but all right. Eric wants me to do a video reaction to something. I haven't finished watching what he wants me to react to yet, but I will be doing that. That's coming up. And again, if you have want me to cover something, any stories, I've been out of pop culture. I haven't been on Twitter lately. So if there's anything going on you want me to talk about, let me know. Leave it below. And happy fucking New Year. I'll probably see you guys on New Year's. Might have something a little surprise cooked up and might be doing a podcast. Try to maybe even do it on New Year's. I don't know. I might do it the day before. We'll see. All right.